Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Diecast Resurrection. Today we have a tasty little treat here. This is called Flatout 442 Oldsmobile hatchback. Kind of a race car, single seater, got a roll bar, kind of crusty, got an interesting header lake tube package that also has mufflers. So that's quite interesting. There you go, Flatout 442. This guy says 1979 right here, so we're gonna be doing a little bit of experimenting today, and this video isn't gonna be about how badass this car is, but it's gonna be more like these are some ideas you can do with your candy paints. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Hell yeah, I love it when they only got one mushy right through the old gas tanker. This is a Larry Wood design car, so you know it's going to have a muscle vibe to it, and I mean it totally does, even though it's like a dorky little hatchback. You know it's got a V8, you know it's rear wheel drive, so that's what I like about it. Just a smidge more. Maybe I'll try my move again. Is it working? Crazy, that actually works. It's kind of like a little, I don't know what you want to call it. It's like the opposite of a slide hammer. Oh yeah, look at all that. Is that part of the base? No way. That is a metal seat. I have never seen that. And hell yeah, we're painting this fire extinguisher. Crazy concoction we got here today. Got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a Mach 5 Razorback on this thing. Anyways, you guys know the drill. Well, this stuff is going to need a wash. It's going to go right to stripping this bad boy. Of course, we're using Aircraft Paint Remover by Clean Strip. Very nasty product that smells of ammonia, but does a good job. Stuff doesn't mess around. If you're in a hurry to strip some paint, this is your stuff. So today's paint job, basically what I have planned is I made a decal package for, sorry, I said decal. What I meant was decal. So what my plan is to put my decals on the car at the stage where we put on the old Quicksilver, and then I'm going to paint over the decals with Quicksilver, and then we're going to put our candy on top of that, and we're going to see our decals through all those layers of candy and the silver, and hopefully it's a good effect. I think I got this car from a big church garage sale we had around here. There's one of those blue cases of Hot Wheels, you know, from like the early 90s. And I asked some lady, you know, how much for this? And she's like, $3. And I was like, sold. So there's a bunch of cars in there. I think that's where this came from. There's literally 30 cars and a case for $3 or $6 or something like that. I'm going to go give this a rinse and clean it up, and I will come right back. It's looking pretty sweet now. It's actually really cool casting. Just want to make sure everything is good. Alright, so these wheels are out of here. What I would like to do is get a little baby drill bit, smaller than this, and drill this out to fit an M2 axle. So we might try that today, see if there's any meat left. If not, well, we'll figure it out. Just want to see what it looks like under here. Smells like death. Nice little seatbelt there, that's pretty cool. Well, I don't know, I guess we'll do the normal thing and start on our paint. And we will leave all of this for once our paint is drying. Thinking back, I think it would have been a lot easier if I used a gloss white base coat just because the decals I'm putting on are black. So now I got to spray a little bit of silver on here and then clear coat it before I can put my decals on because this is water-based paint, so I can't use anything to slide. So I need to use water in order to get my decals on, so it's getting a little bit complicated. It would have been easier if I started out with a gloss white, but we're going to make it work. So here comes our Quicksilver. So now, it's getting a little complicated, so I'm going to clear coat this Quicksilver. So I have a urethane base on there where I can use water to put my decals on. And then I'm going to come back and give it a little bit more Quicksilver to kind of cover my decals, and then we're going to add our colors. So I get a lot of questions about my clear coat. Everyone wants to know what clear coat I'm using. Urethane ultra clear coat. Alright, so this guy's good. I'm going to have to wait a little bit for this to dry before we can do our decals, but now at least we can use water on this thing without screwing anything up. Long process, but we're gonna get through this. Remember, this is just an experiment. Just playing around here today. Alright, so we are back. We got our car here. I must say, it looks pretty good. The clear coat darkened it up quite a bit. But now you got a pretty good idea what you're seeing through the candy is this. So the next plan is to try out some of these decals here. Got my little cup here with my sponge. And I forget whose channel I saw this on. It might have been Time Rider, possibly. I love the idea. Especially when you're making your own decals. Putting them underwater sometimes just doesn't work out. So when I saw the sponge, hell yeah. Put them on the sponge. I see my battery light is on. So I start putting down a couple of these decals. Got the little 442. The rear spoiler. Some light here. Hashtag blubs for Jimmy. Just gonna leave this guy right here. Like so. 69. Itty bitty diecast resurrection. Boop. Put another blubs for Jimmy on the hood here. Feel that. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. We're going to hit it with some Quicksilver again. Let that dry, lay some candy pigment on, clear coat this thing, and then we're done for the night. I'll be using a new color called Carbide Blue. I'm going to add some balancing clear to that. 40 to 50%. And then we're going to reduce 10%, just a smidge. So I really want to see through the candy for as long as I can, just to see how many layers I can put on it. I don't want to risk putting on too much and losing it completely, so we're going to go with that. And I think I'm going to just blast this thing with some clear coat, and we'll see how she looks. Alright, I got a big pool of lime out here, 50-50. We're going to go ahead, we're going to soak this base, because this thing is nasty. 4 minutes. We're gonna let that stew just simmer. Got another one we're gonna fill with Pledge Revive. I got our interior cleaned up for the most part. Some weird chemical stuff going on here. We're gonna soak this bad boy as well. We're gonna let that chill for a while and dry up. I've been trying to think of a good way to get these M2 axles onto our base, and it's going to be tough. So I came up with a plan. We're going to give it a shot. I don't think I've seen anybody do it yet. So we're going to try some more experimenting. For now. We're going to dunk our windshield in our Pledge as well. I have to sand this one a little bit, but I'm just happy that it's looking clear for now. We will let that dry. We'll look at our base here. Might have been over 4 minutes, but it's pretty crusty, so I feel like my camera settings are off. Could actually use a little bit more, maybe. Do we dare? I dare. So, Marty's channel's doing real good these days. Do I need to change it up? Crikey! Look at this little bloke right here. Gotta get them pipes clean. So you can see the spots where the oxidation was really going deep. But you know that this is down to factory metal. The oxidation is spreading to our tail light there. Might be able to sand out some of that. Headlights are nice and fresh. Interior looks pretty good. You can even see the little rivets on the plate for the scatter shield, so that when the transmission blows you don't lose a limb. It's very cool. Cool little interior. I like this one. Alright, so I don't have a big enough axle tubing to get M2 axles in here, so I'm going to try to do something a little different here. We're going to just invent something. I opened these up already, just in case I had standard style wheels that I would like on this car, but I wasn't feeling it. So I'm just going to open this up a little bit so I can get this axle tube all the way to the bottom. Right now it just wants to sit on top of here, so I want to get it down here. I'm going to cut a couple of these. Then I'm going to mask them. what my plan is I'm going to epoxy these little shafts in, and then I'm going to grab onto them once it's dry and just pull them out. And the liquid mask is going to prevent them from sticking. So what that should give us is like an epoxy tunnel where then we could slide our M2 axles through. That is the theory anyways. I don't think I've seen anybody do anything like this, so it's all just a mystery. Grab a big bulb of this. You know, if this works, a guy could use this method to lower cars, even raise cars. If I can't get these axles out after, I'm gonna look like a fool. The big thing is we need to have volume above our tubing. So you need to use something pretty thick. I think JB Quick Weld would probably even work better than this. But we're gonna see what happens here. I'm gonna let this dry and then we will come back and see what happens. Okay, it's moment of truth time here. It's kind of hard to hold on to these little shafts, but that's exactly what we were after. Just run a little drill bit through just to clean out the rest of my liquid mask. Perfecto! That worked pretty good. On this side, this one's a little bit easier. Whoop. Just like that. Run our drill bit in. There we go. We're in business. Sweet. Let's get some sick blades over here. Try this out. I'm gonna go easy on this epoxy till, probably 24 hours. That's hard enough to work with, but, for best results, wait 24 hours. Every time I put these axles on now, I worry about putting one through my finger like I did that one time that you guys didn't see. Boop, 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 boop. If I were to do this again, I think I'd use a piece of tubing or maybe even the back of a drill bit that is a little bit closer to the size of the shaft. This is close, but it's not perfect. It's going to work, but I mean, this was just an experiment. I don't know what I'm doing. Just trying to be resourceful with what I got in front of me. I'll never forget it. I just heard this little snap and puncture. It haunts me at nighttime still. Beauty. Maybe I'll paint that little fire extinguisher. Do 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 do. Not that anybody's ever going to look in here, but it's there, so we might as well. That's all I have to say about that. Super careful. Don't breathe. Sweet ride, bro. Sweet ride. What order does this go in? I am a machine. So complex. So many things happening at once here. Okay, fog lights in. Windshield in. The base back on here. Headlights through the front. Let me look. Everybody asks what this little screwdriver is. It's called a teeny turner. I don't necessarily recommend it. There's better screwdrivers out there for this kind of thing. This is just something that I found at the old hardware store one day, and I picked it up just because it had the right size. That on there, nice and snug. Right, you ready to see this beast in action? What do you think of this? Is that not a tuner or what? What is it? I don't even know what it is. Wide body Oldsmobile? It's ridiculous. Now here's what I was talking about with the candy. You almost see too much. So there's a little bit of a reaction there, I think, between the microsol and the candy, where you can see it's almost an extra glittery on top. But the whole purpose was I wanted to see what all can you put on one of these cars and paint over. So could you sneak some flames in there or something? Absolutely. I don't think I'd use black, and I'd be a lot more careful with using any kind of solvents on top, but I don't know, overall I think it was a success, kind of a different car than we're used to on this channel, but I'm feeling it overall. It's pretty sweet. A lot of you younger viewers will probably really like this one, where the older guys are more into the muscle. I mean, this thing's got some muscle too, obviously. It's just kind of pimp muscle, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I really like the way it turned out. You can see our little extinguisher. Oh, I didn't paint the handle on the extinguisher black. Damn it. Blubs for Jimmy. You can just see it. Oh, this thing's pretty pimp. Let's get it up on a turntable. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to check out the merch if you want to support the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!